Hello everybody, my name is Connor and I am here with the classic Purple Luffy versus Shanks. There are just so many Shanks in my local meta, so you guys are seeing this match a lot, but at least now I feel pretty comfortable into it. So, turn 1, no Law Searcher, which is a bummer, but turn 2, we are gonna just poke 5, see if he, is expecting something else. He's not, and we are gonna tap 4 to get the Zoro Juro out. And we are going to search our top 5 cards for a Straw Hat card. And looking at my hand, I'm thinking Luffy Taro is probably the play. Gonna grab the Luffy Taro because I can cheat out another Zoro Juro right after, basically next turn, and get another search off. So, pretty solid play. And my opponent doesn't really have much to do, so he's going to swing that 7. And the amount of cards I have in hand, I do have a lot of cards in hand. I'm torn between taking it or countering out. I usually don't like to take my life, but I am feeling like I have a pretty good setup right now, so I do end up taking it. And he passes with 2 Dawn up, so I think I'm going to try. I'm assuming that that's a Red Hawk with my name on it, unfortunately. So we'll go ahead and poke 6, see if we get the Red Hawk out, but nope, we just get a counter there, and then poke 5 for the leader ability. We're going to go ahead and leader ability, getting ourselves to 7 Dawn, and it is going to be Luffy Taro into the Zoro Juro to get another search. Zoro Juro. I was thinking about the Son Goro there, but, I just think getting the search is pretty good. Kind of not the greatest search, but we do get the Usohachi off of the search, so we are able to draw the 2K and pass turn. Our hand size is looking massive, dude. And I'm feeling, even though we're significantly lower on life, I am feeling like we are really doing all right. So he's gonna go ahead, and it looks like he may not have much to do. In classic Shanks fashion, I feel the first couple of turns, they just don't really have much to do. So my thought is, if I establish a large board that is hard for them to deal with, that's great. So they are just debating on how aggressively they want to swing, and they swing really aggressively into Zoro. I let them go, and they pass. We draw into another Usohachi, so we are sitting pretty. We're sitting pretty, honestly. And with our Dawn now at 8 Dawn, I think I am getting a little nervous here, if I remember correctly. Just feeling like I'm feeling pretty comfortable, but also, like, that could change. He just needs one good card to really change it, and Shanks runs a lot of good cards. So, and with 8 Dawn, I don't really have a ton of big things I can do, but we go ahead and swing 6, get the 2K, go ahead, swing 8, and we get a life off of him. Swinging the 7 there, getting another 2K, just draining his hands there. And I think I'm going to tap 1 for a Law Searcher. I'm going to search the top 4 of my deck and see what I find. And I am tempted to take the 2K Sanji, but I am going to take the Rusher. I think that the 7 cost Sanji is so good. And yeah, so we're going to go ahead and drop Kid. Felt like this was a pretty solid place to drop Kid. Unfortunately, he is approaching 8 Dawn. Alright, I think he's at 10 Dawn now, so with nothing to play until 10 Dawn, I just assumed the worst. And actually, that must have been 8. He is going to go ahead and use Rayleigh to pop the Kid. As I said, I feel like anytime I get Kid down, he just instantly gets killed. And with the Rayleigh effect, he is going to swing into the Zoro right there, and I'm just gonna give him a 2K. I can keep him up with a 2K because it's just a 5 at swing, and yeah, that seems worth it to me. Get that big body later, and with the amount of cards I have in hand, I'm thinking that we could, he's got 1 body on board. I'm feeling pretty good. I am feeling pretty good at this point. I'm thinking about, what am I thinking about? Thinking about playing one of the Rush Sanjis. I could drop the 9 Luffy. I think that's a good choice to get that large body on board and draw another card. And definitely, I could be going back and forth between Mom and Luffy. And Mom is nice because Mom would heal, but I think Luffy, or Lucy if I'm Rebecca, Luffy's just more aggressive, and I think at this point, he's got one body on board. I want the aggression, so we draw into a Zoro Juro, which at this point in the game, I don't really want to see the Zoro Juro. So, we go ahead, swing 8, he takes down to 3 life now. Swinging the 9, we're going to get another take, and pass turn. I don't want to swing the Zoro, and I don't want to swing leader, knowing that he'll probably just leader ability. Was kind of hoping to get a leader ability out from the 2 initial swings. And here comes 10 cost Shanks. So, yeah, classic Shanks fashion. Play nothing until 8 dawn, and then drop the big bodies that you have. So 10 cost Shanks, gonna minus everything in my on my board by 1,000, which certainly is a bummer. And yeah, I'm gonna put that dice there so I can do math, and just to see if I can counter out of. I want to be able to keep most of my board up. I know it's, okay at best, but yeah, he's gonna go ahead and swing 5. I'm just gonna give him the vanilla Usopp there, and then a 12. It's gonna swing 12 into Luffy Taro, and I do want to keep Luffy Taro alive, so I am gonna go ahead there. I feel like at this point, no harm in dropping the Gum Gum Giant, minusing 2 Dawn there, and I'm gonna trash the Zoro Juro and drawing 2 cards. So that should, if I did my math right, I think I need 1 more counter. Yep, give him a 2K, get out of that swing. The 8 into the Luffy Taro. Again, I do want to save him. I think that he is worth the saving here. And yeah, I'm just making sure I got my math right. Give him the 2K in the blocker Sanji. We draw into another Zoro, which there are worse things to draw into at this point in the game, but I also would very much like, I would very much like to have more counter in my hand. So one option I am thinking of is the 7 cost Sanji with Rush, just to provide a lot of aggro. My opponent is getting low on life, and since he did drop 10 Shanks, there's no Dawn up, so the 6K swing going into lead. 6K because he's a 5 right now with the enemy Shanks on board. Added that Dawn to make him 6, and we get another 2K. Gonna go another 6 just so he can't leader ability and get away with it for free. And then it looks like I am probably going to drop. Well, if I drop 7 Sanji, I think if I drop 7 Sanji, I can't have 1 up for Giant. So I think I am just separating my Dawn and trying to decide how I want to go about it. Yeah, I think having Giant is the play here, and just going as aggressively. Am I going into board? I think I'm going into board. I might be trying to clear. Oh no, I go into life. That makes sense. I think that the best thing to do here is just ignore board and go into life here, especially because he has no Dawn up, and we have a pretty established board at this point. Just swinging really aggressively, and I think that's honestly, in my experience of playing Purple Luffy, my experience in beating Shanks has been just to swing really aggressively. So we're gonna drop the 2K Robin, or the 2 cost Robin, and pass, get that little chump blocker on the field, just to make sure that we can, we can live. Yep, here's another 10 cost Shanks, and yeah, that's exactly why we dropped the chump blocker. At this point, I do want to keep, I think, Luffy alive, the 9 cost Luffy. I think he's my best bet for lethal, and I have the least amount of Dawn that I would have to give him. But, with my opponent dropping another 10 cost, he has nothing up for, any counter events like Rad Beam, Guard Point, anything like that. And I think he did mention that after playing it down, he did mention that that was not the right play. And I don't know. I don't hate the play, but I could see why he feels it wasn't the right play. Yeah, it just kind of depends on what else is in his hand, because if he can clear my board, I think he's sitting pretty okay. But he's gonna swing the 5. I'm gonna give him the 1K in the Sanji there. Swinging 8 into potentially. No, okay, so no, he changed his mind. He's gonna swing the 10, swinging 10 into the Luffy Taro, and I know that there's gonna be at least probably at least one more swing into the Luffy Taro, and I don't know if it's worth saving. He's down by 1, but I am gonna try and save him, dropping the Gum Gum to -2 Dawn. There goes 2 Dawn, and trashing another Zoro to draw 2, and we get a Kamazo in here. Here I gotta do the math, so he's 8, since he's 6 and 12. That gives us 4, 6, 7. So I need 3K. Is that right? 2K. Looks like I counted out with 2K. That may not have been correct, but he's gonna swing again into Luffy Taro, the 8 into the 6, and yeah, I'm gonna let him go. Just forcing him to swing into Luffy Taro, block with the Nico Robin to keep the Luffy up, and yeah, I think that it was worth countering out for Luffy Taro, because it got rid of another attack that would have gone at, Luffy or Zoro. Granted, it cost me a lot. I think that it really kind of secured the fact that we'd be sitting in a pretty good spot here. I think that this turn is a good opportunity to go for lethal. We just top decked another 9 Luffy, so I am thinking about putting some Dawn on both, I think, Zoro and lead here. I just go ahead, put 3 Dawn on the rush Luffy there, and the rest of my Dawn on lead, and that is game. There I am, awkwardly waiting for the fist bump. Yeah, totally bricked, as you can see. But honestly, I feel like I played that pretty well. I am bummed, because I feel like if I could get Kid on the field and he stays on the field, oh my god, it's so good. I'm sitting pretty. The game is gaming. But yeah, he popped Kid immediately, which is smart. It's exactly what you should do. Kid is too valuable to leave on the field. So, but yeah, overall, I feel like I played it pretty well. And just the overall extreme aggro into Shanks, just chunking him as close to 0 as you can get, as fast as you can, I think is the best way as Purple Luffy to handle Shanks. So that's what we tried to do, and it worked out for us. So that is gonna go ahead and do it for me, guys. If you guys liked this video, hit that like button down below. Helps me out more than you can ever know. Go ahead and subscribe if you are new, and I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.